show you this. All right, so this is how I do the brush drape. I've seen some other variances, and I'm totally fine with you guys doing them. If you have picked one up, you don't have to do it my way. As long as things remain covered on your partner, I'm happy. So, hot dog way, not hamburger. Take the top, fold it over, flip. Take the bottom, fold it up. So I have one side with 3, one side with 2. The side with 3 goes to her feet. Just under her chin. Grab the edge. Grab the top seam only. Get nice and taut. Accordion it open. And then just hold down each top as you pull the sheet from under. Tuck into the underneath. Don't run your fingers across, please. Scooch it up if you need to. You don't really have to tuck under, you can, but you're not always able to on everybody. All right, thus she is draped and ready to go. When you approach the abdominal area, whether it's a neuromuscular treatment or something just this quick 3-minute Swedish belly rub, this is a very vulnerable position for somebody to be in. Have you guys ever had your abs worked in any capacity? 3? Huh? I don't like it. It's not a common one.
Yeah.
I like the NMT treatment. It helps with low back pain. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Frees up all kinds of things. You saw how many people have never had their abs worked. So approach this area with awe and reverence and respect. Go slow. Don't just quickly drape, get in and do it. So it's a 3-minute routine and then re-drape and move on. You know, it's an area that emotional releases can occur. It's an area that, it's our soft underbelly. You know, whenever you experience something scary or traumatic or whatever, you tense up and you curl in.
It's all stored right in there.
It's all here. It's our center body. One of the deepest hip flexors, your psoas major, your filet mignon, if you're a cow, your pork tenderloin. It has been found that is where anxiety is housed. So, in our soft tissues, when we release that, it's normal. It's normal, she said, we're not. For things to come up. So today, you guys are all consenting to have your partner work on this area. Your partner is going to approach you with respect. If you start to feel a little uncomfy, let your partner know, just like, hey, just hang on just a second. Myself or Jules or Savannah can come over and help you. Give you a minute if you need it. It's all good. Just 3 minutes belly rub. That's my soapbox. Questions? Let's get started. My hands are cold.
Oh, good. Oh, they are.
Perfect
You're
for a
not
belly
lying.
rub.
Yeah.
Sorry. Now for free cryotherapy. So instead of just like getting lube on your hands, just like going for it, we're going to introduce ourselves to the body. With the back of our hands along the side, we're going to come up.
Woo.
So sorry. Sorry. Place them gently. And we're going to take some connecting breaths. Go ahead and take a nice deep breath. That was a good belly breath. Do another one. I want a good diaphragmatic breath. Expand that rib cage. I don't want like a chesty. I want a good. Now, what's the first thing your routine says before anything? Always work clockwise. Clockwise is the same if I stand on this side of the table or that side of the table. Going in this direction. To encourage proper poo flow. If you work the opposite, you can have the opposite effect.
You back up?
Yep.
Throw up?
Backed up. little constipation.
That's the opposite.
Super backed up. So far, it comes out the other side. So, I mean, if you got a little extra, like a little diarrhea, you can go backwards and be like, let's calm down, you guys. So, work clockwise today. But what is my first step?
2-hand circular flush.
2-hand circular effleurage. I feel like it should be going without saying, but I'm going to say it. Leave the belly button alone. We don't massage on that. But we are going to start center. One hand stacked on top of another. And our circles are getting bigger, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're in a good old-fashioned horse squat stance. What's next?
Alternate hand circular effleurage, sun and moon.
Sun and moon. You know on your back routine and your glute routine, where it was like, do it stacked hands, keep it vanilla until you get experienced, and do sun and moon. This is sun and moon. So my left hand is a continual circle, like the sun. My right hand leaps over every now and then and makes more of a crescent shape, like the moon. But this technique you can apply on the glutes with fists. You can do it on the shoulder. You can do it on the hip. Once you've mastered it here and you've gotten a lot better with your back routine, you can start incorporating it more. Doing a little bit in your half-part effleurages too. But for right now, all those areas, keep it stacked and simple. Sun and moon is here. What's next?
2 hands meet at spine, 3 lines, 1 time each, ribs, middle, hips, and each stroke with fingers at spine and gently lift to return to center.
Yes. It's like a little hug. I actually really like this part, personally. So you're starting at the center, going with fingertips, wrapping around. I'm touching her spine. My fingers are touching. And then I'm just going to gently pull back. We were talking about eye contact today. This is not the time for eye contact.
I'm looking at you hard.
Right?
Just see if you look at me.
It's creepy. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Is it always accessible to be touching your fingers?
Not always.
Mm-mm.
It depends on your client's shape. It can even depend on their amount of body hair. Some people are a little more hairy. But usually by this point, you've worked their back, you've worked their legs. So their back's nice and lubed up. But I had no trouble going around touching fingers.
So in that case, you would just go as far as possible, just to
Yeah.
get that lifting effect?
Without you don't want your body to touch them. And if you're a little bit more top heavy, be mindful of that as well. You definitely don't want breast tissue touching our clients. So just as much as you can to get that lifting effect, as you said. And be mindful, I'm not trying to physically pull her off the table. I'm just kind of leaning back and letting her body weight kind of in gravity pull. So just. My hands are spread nice and wide. It's nice. Next.
Well, and then so how far are you going on for the hip one?
For the hip, so it's right where the iliac crest is.
And that's where,
So for the hip one, kind of low back. So I can touch the top of her sacrum. It's also going to depend on your body type.
okay.
And ideally, your pinkies will kind of trace or graze the iliac crest. Kind of depends too on the underwear they're wearing. If they're wearing those Spanx high control top, you can scoot down a little bit, but those are very tight, so you're limited by the clothing as well. But today, that's where we're going. That's as low as we're going.
But would you go over their underwear?
No, I would drape to it because I don't want to get grease and oil and stuff on it.
Okay.
Next,
Did we do number 6?
Alternate hand circular.
sun and moon again. You guys like sandwiches?
Mm-hmm.
I like sandwiches. The ab routine is a sandwich. And that 3-line hug is like the middle. Because what's next after my sun and moon? That same thing we just did. 2-hand effleurage, but this time our circles are getting smaller. So this sandwich is a croissant, you know, because it'd be spiraling. Y'all gonna remember it now. We are ending our session the same way we started it. My circles are getting smaller, and then I'm leaving with a breath the same way I started. Deep breath in. Another deep breath. So 2 or 3 breaths. And as her abdomen rose, my hands came with it, and then they kind of stayed. So they came up and they just kind of stayed. I had her do another breath, came up, and then we just kind of floated away. So we started nicely with some breath, circles, sun and moon, 3 lines, sun and moon, circles, breath. It's a sandwich! Ab sandwich. That's it though. 3 minutes. Do you guys want me to do it again without the reading? Or do you think this one's pretty easy? One more time? Okay. Start from the start.
No complaints here.
Take a nice deep breath. Good. One more. Keep breathing, Jules. Take some nice slow breaths.